The busy M1 motorway. What these drivers don't realise is that just over the hedge there are deer stalkers with full bore rifles managing Britain's deer herds, but they're doing it safely. Don't worry. The question is, why are there so many deer here in the first place? The answer lies here, Woburn Park, where in the 19th century the Duke of Bedford populated his gorgeous 3,000-acre estate with deer, Chinese water deer, Pear Davids, muntjac, and some of the ones we know well, sika, reds, fallow. But they got out. They moved to local farmland. And what we're going to do today is go out with top stalking agent Peter Carr to shoot a Chinese water deer. Peter, tell me something about this this little deer.
The Chinese water deer, it was introduced by the Duke of Bedford, the 11th Duke of Bedford, in the 1930s to his deer park at Woburn Abbey, and also a population was introduced to whipsnade. And during the war years, story has it that Woburn Park gates was left open, and there was a mass exodus of the Chinese water deer and the muntjac, and that's why we have a wild population today. Not
a very popular move by whoever left the gates open then.
No, I reckon if it was an NCO it'd be busted down to private.
So what have we got now? Muntjac have obviously spread all over southeast of England. Where are Chinese water deer, the deer we're after today?
We get obviously in Bedfordshire is the stronghold, but they're also in Cambridgeshire, and there's a small population in Norfolk as well. I think that was actually moved over from introductions again from Woburn.
Yeah, so where is the M1?
The M1 is just on the edge of the field behind us where we see the blackthorn hedge, and you can actually see some buses and trucks going by there.
Yeah. And you can also see little
Chinese water deer.
Little dots. That's a big herd you've got up there.
Yeah, there must be 20 in this field alone, so you can see the population here is quite high.
How many do you take off this estate, this 1,600-acre estate a year?
Well, through the shooting season off here, we'll probably take off between 60 and 80 off this one estate, which is 1,600 acres.
Yeah, and that keeps the population healthy.
Yeah, that's
level.
A nice balanced population, and the deer themselves are healthy.
Okay, Pete, we've just seen you firing at a piece of paper. That's not what we're here to do today. What were you up to?
Well, just checking the zero, Charlie. Obviously, we don't want a wounded deer situation, so we checked the zero. It was slightly to the left, so we brought it over and popped it right through the middle. So, quite happy with the zero of the rifle, so we can go and shoot a deer.
We can now. So you saw the bullet go into the left, and you wound the scope one way to bring it onto target. Yeah.
The elevation was fine, up and down the elevation. The windage was just slightly to the left, so 2 clicks over and it's spot on now.
What makes the scope zero change? Is it changes in weather, that sort of thing? Or?
It can do, but with this particular rifle, with it being stainless steel and a synthetic stock, there shouldn't be any change with wood or weather, or very minimal. So this is the particular way forward with this rifle really for that, but it could have just had a little knock in the vehicle or anything like that, but it's always best to check before we actually go out.
So last time you took it out it was bang on the money. This time it was a little bit off, but you've put it back right.
Absolutely.
Peter, a very beautiful rifle, an unusual calibre for deer, the 22-250.
Yes, but for the Chinese water deer and the muntjac deer, it's been passed last year. We can actually use that, and it's an ideal round for deer. It's very flat shooting for these small deer.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be any good on larger deer such as fallow or red deer.
It's a foxing calibre, isn't it?